Sometimes you have to pave it your way.
All right, everyone. Looks like I got a little bit of feedback somewhere. Lovely. All right, checking for where that noise could be coming. Oh, I can just open up the volume mixer. Hey, found it. Simple enough. All right, we're just gonna be getting this stuff posted. Drop something over on X to let people know we're live. And yeah, should be simple. Now it's just not going to work, so I'll close it ahead of time and save myself the effort. Okay, I finally figured out what I've been humming. Because I was listening to Degeneraciones, or at least an English cover of it. And I know that's what I was starting the humming at, but then it was switching to something different. And I finally figured out what it is that I was switching to. I was switching to Melos no Yoni, Run Like Melos, from SBT Lasner. Or Blue Comet SBT Lasner, or whatever it's supposed to be called properly. That's all looking good. That's looking good. Good. It's one less thing to worry about. So we got our chats working just in time for YouTube to crash on me. Wonderful. What? I'll give my PC a little extra cooling. Why not? Doesn't harm me. Yeah, see, I'm doing it. I keep trying to hum Degeneraciones and it switches to Blue Comet SPT Lasener. So weird. I can't keep the melody. Alright, it's looking good. Worry about that. Don't need to worry about that. And don't need to worry about that. Perfect. Everything is as it should be, or rather, it almost is. Alright. Just a tiny bit longer, and we'll get started. I can close that to not have to worry about it. That pulled up. There we are. And sure enough, looks like we're going to be starting pretty much right as I predicted. One. In the sky there is a blue comet. It's just darn it. I used to have a English cover of it memorized, but I don't anymore. Yeah, it's something like Solani biru no mado kara boku no tachi sagashite ita yo di ba da 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 do ba da 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 do ba da da ba da 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 do. All right. Let's go ahead and post that to X. Go to Discord. Stream announcement. Deathworlders Bar and Grill. And since I'm posting it there, I may as well grab the Rumble URL as well. Drop it there. Perfect. All right. Do 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 do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. What more? Oh, nope. You are a spammer. Port. Mute forever. and delete. That is what we do to spammers. Perfect. There we are. That's looking good. Looking good. All right. So where to? All right. I guess we can go ahead and close the privacy screen. Where is it? There you are. All right. Troublemakers 28 to 29. Nope, not Troublemakers. Troublemakers 028 through 029. Start, open, double, and audio. Troublemakers. Never surrender, never give up. The audio, drop it there, ripple delete. Say out to there and down, down. Perfect. Oh, good. It's better. And insert a text box, rich, and 96. 1920 times 0.9, 1728. I should have that memorized, but I don't. 1728, there we go. That is the correct thing. Words to that, background to that. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, let's get to it. We are working on Troublemakers 28, chapter 28 and 29. Never surrender and never give up. Will I get 3 to fit? Definitely not at 72. Needs to be 30. Paste. Maybe. Back on his feet. Yeah, probably not. Oh no, just barely will. All right, Joe the Brick. You need a medic bag. Oh no. What do you need a medic bag for? Get that to over there. That is a 120, so 60. Boom. Good. All right, now hopefully it doesn't blow everyone's ears out when I play this, so let's be careful. If you're on headphones, don't trust me quite yet. Drake stared at Carnifex. Neither had moved for the better part of an hour. There we go. One sized, trying to read the flexing and relaxing of muscles. The other stared at their opponent with cold disdain. Drake widened his stance, currently on the defensive. Carnifex blurred, and Drake reacted, rotating his wrists around each other for an oblique cut. His sword clanged against Carnifex's gauntlet, shoving it to the side as he rotated out of the way. Suddenly, pain blossomed in his throat, and he fell to a knee, clutching his ripped throat as Carnifex flicked blood off his second gauntlet. The strength left Drake's body as he slumped forward, choking on his own blood as his vision darkened to black. Back on his feet, Drake held Alexandros with the point facing behind him. Carnifex blurred, and Drake let reflex take over. Sparks flew as Drake swung upwards, deflecting the piercing blow aimed for his heart. From the corner of his eye, as if in slow motion, he saw Carnifex blink into existence, clawed gauntlets speeding for his throat. Drake didn't think. He simply let his body react as he skipped back, leaving an infuriated Carnifex looking at their blood-free gauntlet. Someone came into contact with a French creature. What do you mean by a French creature? A frog? Where are these frogs? And are any of them named Pepe? And are any of them particularly rare? That up 780. That should be 150 each side. Perfect. Gauntlet. Prepared for the next strike. Sword held in a high guard, tipped facing Carnifex. The butcher blurred. Drake thought to guard his heart, but his sword slashed empty air as Carnifex appeared in front of him. The demon's arm disappeared from view somewhere beneath Drake's chin. Drake's vision became canted as his head fell by his own feet. But for a moment, he could have sworn he saw, if not fear, apprehension in those soulless eyes. Shaking his head clear of the image of his own ankles, Drake relaxed into a peasant's guard. Carnifex regarded him with a cold, calculating gaze. No human may defeat me, boy. Give up. The defiant human laughed, glancing over their shoulder at the ghostly image of their father. With a dry chuckle, Drake nodded. You keep saying that. Huh? It was green, so yes, 'twas a frog. As for the specific type, yeah. Well, I mean, it was either a Pepe or a Poo. What? Yeah, I'm about to find you in a Poo. Let me pull Hubble back up. There we are. Hide Hubble. So yes, this is Apu Apustaya. Helper in English is a poorly drawn variation of Pepe the Frog, created in the style of Spurdo Sparde. While originally popularized on the Finnish image board Ilauta, the character also frequently posted on 4chan, where he's referred to as Helper. Yes. So, there is a difference between an Apu and a Pepe. And that one is an Apu. Apu versus Pepe. See if we can maybe grab an image. Yeah. Yeah. That's how you can tell it's an Apu. I'm glad I could educate you about the internet for a bit. Memes and all that stuff. You keep saying that. It's not to there, but to there. Keep saying that. I'll try taking 3. We'll see if we. Son of a bees, churger. Stop churging bees. Bees are good and should not be churged. The demon, the 2. Perfect. Saying that.
Artifacts blurred. Instinctually, Drake understood what the demon was aiming for. He didn't need to think as he twisted out of the way. A gust of cold wind against his cheek marking the passage of Carnifex's gauntlet. The demon turned, striking out with her left hand, only for the gauntlet to be met by Alexandros' glowing white blade. Sparks flew as Drake mindlessly followed the momentum, letting go of the sword with one hand and punching the demon in the face. The two broke apart, Carnifex leaping back as they touched their face, where a dark bruise had begun to form. Dark flames started to rise from the demon's form as they cursed in an ancient language. The demon darted forward again, faster this time. Drake flicked his sword up, blocking the first piercing strike with the flat of his blade. Carnifex's second gauntlet flew at his face, forcing him to duck. A powerful knee to his chin shattered his teeth and sent him reeling back, the demon on top of him before he could think. Drake ducked the first 2 strikes, barely evading them.
The third crushed his skull. My headphones have decided now is the time to commit the act of ceasing Ceasing of the functions of being on. Ah, so you're saying it decided to commit Sudoku. There we go. That is the censorship-friendly way of saying that. To there. Nope. I almost pasted instead of pasted text only. For he clicked. Also, oops. Justify alignment. Justify alignment. Justify alignment. Justify alignment. There we go. I mean, there is no way that I'm finishing at a reasonable time, but if I did, I would absolutely happily play some Sudoku after this. Get some nice variant, maybe some fog Sudoku variant. That'd be fun. Not that I'm particularly good at it. I mean, I'm fairly decent, but definitely could be better.
Think. The first two strikes barely evaded them. The third crushed his skull. Fuck! Drake exclaimed, hopelessness starting to set in. He was back to standing on the black sand. He knew he'd...
Whoops. As he spoke, we need to make that a bit smaller. That's good enough, and that'll be 356. What? 178. Did not want to do that in my head. There.
Knee to his chin and sent him reeling back. The demon on top of him before he could think. Drake ducked the first two strikes, barely evading them. The third crushed his skull. Fuck! Drake exclaimed, hopelessness starting to set in. He was back to standing on the black sand. He knew he'd landed the hit. He just needed to do it again. The problem being, he couldn't remember how he'd done it. He needed to remember his training. He just needed to... It clicked. He was thinking too much, trying to fight the demon as though it were another man. A burst of warmth from behind him made him look to his father's ghostly form. For a moment, they were back in the scrubland outside the village, staring out across the brush and squat trees that stretched on forever. Alexander tapped the wooden sword
carved for his son, smiling at the young boy as he spoke. Right. Young boy as he spoke. Maybe I can go that far. Possibly. We'll see. Copy. Paste. And we have artifacts, the demon, the human. Artifacts, the demon, human, sparks, the demon. $870, that's 210, so that's 105. There's centering.
Young boy, as he's... Remember what I've taught you, and train hard. When the time comes that you'll need to use what we've worked on, you won't need to think about doing it. It'll be instinctual. Let your sword become an extension of your body, the voice of your soul. Don't think, just do. There will come a time when I can only watch as you fight for your life. Artifacts appeared behind Drake, gauntlet drawn back for a piercing strike. The demon's hand rocketed forward. The human sword moved on its own, draping it across the other's back. Sparks flew as the demon's gauntlet was stopped dead. The demon threw a punch, aiming to crush the boy's skull, but the boy seemed to flow away like a gust of wind. Cartifex's clawed gauntlet, rending only air as the boy took up an offensive guard. Eyes closed, breathing steady.
Cartifex laughed at the boy's odd posturing. Alright, down to 4 pages. Yay! Made some progress. I don't think we'll get the rest of the chapter squeezed into this one, but maybe? One demon. Is this what pain feels like? Is this what pain feels like is going to need to be italicized? Artifacts. The boy. There. Italics. Good. Defensive guard.
Closed, breathing steady. Carnifex laughed at the boy's odd posturing. What now? About to tap into some mysterious genetic swordsmanship skills? Ha! That only happens in children's stories! Give up! The boy didn't respond, breathing smooth, measured, calm. The sword's tip fell to point at Carnifex, and the boy burst forward, kicking up sand. Carnifex flinched, deflecting the thrust with his gauntlets, as Drake's hazel eyes bored into his own from behind the sword's blade. Sharp, focused, fearless. Carnifex leapt away from the boy, about to snarl an insult, but just as quick, the boy's sword was slashing at the demon's pointing finger. The demon flinched back, an odd feeling coming from his hand as he blankly stared at the missing digit. Is this what pain feels like? The demon thought, looking up at the swordsmen in astonishment as they opened their eyes. The sword tip came to rest by their toes as they smiled at Carnifex. Come on, take this seriously. The fight's just starting to get fun.
There we go. That is chapter 28 done. Now we can get started on chapter 29. And since that's only about 6.5 minutes, I decided that the Troublemaker episodes should be doubled up, so that's why they're doubled up. I might be able to get another line squeezed in there. Perfect.
Take this. The fight's just starting to get fun. Sparks and droplets of blood flew through the air as the human and the butcher fought. Carnifex threw piercing strike after piercing strike, each time met with the blade of a sword, or rewarded with only a flesh wound. 32 times. 32 times he'd killed a petulant human after they'd mocked him. 33 times the human had stood up to him again, even congratulated him on winning. It infuriated the demon to no end. A rapid kick knocked the exhausted and battered boy's legs from beneath him, and with an elbow drop, Carnifex finished them off. Carnifex's eye twitched as the human boy rose from the black sand for the 34th time. The boy took a deep breath, then launched themselves at Carnifex, going on the attack. The demon grunted, backpedaling as a relentlessly unpredictable flurry of cuts, strikes, punches, and thrusts bombarded him. He found his own punches and strikes deflected or stopped altogether. The human kept pressuring him, strikes blending into each other. Suddenly, the human did something Carnifex hadn't
thought of in a million years. Complete. 8, down to 3 pages. Good. Can I get the... You know what? No. I'll leave that be as is. We'll just get it up to do you? Do you? There. And that's going to be 350. So 175. Perfect.
The human hadn't thought of in a million years. The boy switched his grip as he twisted away from one of Carnifex's kicks. Off balance, Carnifex watched in astonishment as the boy gripped the sword by the blade, swinging the grip and pommel at the demon's head. Lights popped in front of Carnifex's eyes as he was knocked to the ground. He rolled onto his back, only to have a sword point in his face. Do you yield? The boy asked, though, truth be told, Carnifex couldn't call him a boy anymore. Scars crossed his face and arms, cuts bled on his cheek and throat, but the boy was smiling. He was enjoying this. Carnifex growled, clutching a handful of black sand as he snarled. Do you? Do you?
What? I'm gonna make it be a short one. Well, because I don't think I can fit all of that. He, no darkness, I. $160, so that'll be 80. And no, I can't die and I can't are italicized. There. Carnifex grabbed
a handful of black sand as he snarled. Do you? He flicked the sand in the boy's face, catching them off guard, before kicking them in the wrist and sending the sword spinning into the dirt. With another savage kick, Carnifex sent the boy sprawling before diving for the sword. Suddenly, something curled around his throat, a weight appearing on his back as he was driven into the earth. He breathed, but he felt as though he was suffocating as the boy's arm tightened around his throat. He clawed at the boy's face to no avail, strength waning. Desperately, he reached for the sword, vision beginning to blacken. No. Darkness encroached. I can't die! He was swallowed by the dark. I can't! Carnifex. Ends!
Go. Cleaned up, and I think we can go that far. Alright. Control Shift V. Oh, no, 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 no. Not the whole thing in italics. Alright. They can't with. They can't. It's gonna be 306, so 153. By the dark.
Can't! Carnifex was back to standing on the black sand, the realization dawning on him as he slowly turned to face the human. They sat on a large stone, seemingly conjured from thin air. Smiling, they stood and drew their sword, pointing the tip at Carnifex. Can't be beaten by a human, huh? Maybe it was a fluke. Won't know until you try again. With another worldly scream of rage, Carnifex burst forward with unprecedented speed. He slashed at the boy, both hands weaving trails of destruction through the air as they struck at vitals. But every opening the boy presented was closed just as he struck at it. The sword's keen edge finding his chest and face repeatedly. The demon howled in pain as a hand was removed at the wrist. Trying to backpedal, he felt pain blossoming in his knee, and it buckled beneath him. Carnifex began to hyperventilate. He was losing. He'd never lost. He couldn't.
Right there. And let's say to there. Paste. No. Boy, I hadn't. Began to hyperventilate.
He'd never lost. He couldn't. The sword was stabbed into the ground beside his head, freezing him in place as he tried to crawl away. The boy knelt down beside him, blood dripping down their face and arms from the dozens of flesh wounds Carnifex had managed. But still, they smiled. A manic, deranged smile, filled to the brim with battle lust. I haven't had this much fun since the arena. You know, you're a good fighter. I think I'll train off you a little more before I ram this through your heart. The boy tapped the sword with the tip of their boot as they stood up. Carnifex watched in horror as the boy lifted his foot up over his head. No! The boy stomped down, and Carnifex faded to black,
turning to standing on the sand. There we go. Carnifex defeated a second time. Hooray! Just he Carnifex the. Just. Golden lifeless. The boy darted forward. Hold the boy Carnifex just. I'll take slowly also. And I messed up. There we go.
Down, faded to black, before returning to standing on the sand. Cold, lifeless heart pounding with fear. Carnifex faced the boy. Taking an offensive stance, he prepared for the onslaught. The boy darted forward, swinging the sword upwards. Carnifex deflected it, going for a punch to the boy's temple, but the boy simply twisted away, the blow glancing off his head as he spun fully around. Carnifex seized his chance, aiming a piercing strike at the boy's heart through his back. He didn't see the boy grasp his sword halfway up the blade with their left hand, their right chalking up on the grip right beneath the crossguard. Just as Carnifex's gauntlet would have pierced the boy's back, something cold pierced the demon's chest, freezing him in place. Slowly, Carnifex looked down at the blade piercing his heart in disbelief. The boy had stabbed behind his own back, while gripping the sword like a spear. The point effortlessly pierced
Carnifex's onyx armor. Complete a final page. How, he muttered, how the boy now died. Good. $200, good. Gripping the sword.
The point effortlessly piercing Carnifex's onyx armor. The boy let go of the sword, letting Carnifex fall to the ground, still staring disbelievingly at the sword sticking from his chest. How? He muttered, a command more than a question. The boy just laughed and stepped over, gripping the sword with one hand. How? Because I didn't fucking give up. And now? The boy ripped the sword free, and Carnifex felt himself grow cold as he stared into the boy's glistening hazel eyes. Now die. Cease to exist.
Right. Copy. Paste. That is 350, so 175. Perfect.
Cease to exist. Carnifex whimpered as he slowly began to dissolve into ash. Please. He stretched out a hand pleadingly. Please. I don't want to die. He watched his gauntleted hand start to crumble away. The boy just smiled at him and smacked the hand into a cloud of ash before speaking. Too fucking bad. This body only has enough room for one of us. Carnifex's vision blurred. Was he crying?
And copy. And truth be told, not me, Drake. There. Close. You know what? Oh. Yeah. $200. There we go.
Crying? Drake watched as the demon dissolved into fine black ash, before blowing away in an unseen wind. Breathing a sigh of relief, he collapsed, body aching from the mental, physical, and spiritual exertion. As soon as his blade had bit into the demon's heart, he'd seen who they'd been before, and truth be told, he pitied the little slave boy that had become the demon. Even now, images of wooden cages and cruel masters assaulted his mind. He watched as the demon's story played out, his innocence taken by a noble, spirit broken by a slave driver. A kid, not unlike he, had been twisted into a demon by the cruelty inflicted on them, by the hate they harbored, the blood they spilled. Not me, Drake promised, closing his eyes for some much-needed rest.
And there we just remove text. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That is one chapter completed. Troublemakers. 28 to 29. Never surrender. Never give up. Actually, I'm going to open up GIMP. Best way, narration. Troublemakers, thumbnails, 6 to 27, and we'll make 28 to 29 once this actually turns on. S 8 to 29. That is what they are, right? Oh. 1 second. I need to go grab my, my threads. Get Hubble pulled back up so that I actually grab the right one. Get rid of you. Don't want you. And pull you over to desktop 1. Perfect. Are. Nurse complaint. We posted that one so we can close it and make things a little easier. Alright, so yeah, never surrender, followed by never give up. Good. That is the correct order. Nope. 28 to 29. Save, export as a JPEG. Boom. Good. Now, I don't think it really interests people, but I love this background image. It's like Death holding, I'm going to assume it's a scythe, but I have no idea. And just the roses, they're so pretty. Of course, the moon has a moon sliced out of it, which is just silly. Alright, minimize these guys. That's already working. About halfway done, almost. Almost, yeah. And what is next on the recording list? Also, I guess that means I can close Troublemakers. Good. And next one on the list is a new discovery. Go, save, and close that one. Next on the list, a new discovery, only 5 pages, so it'll be a little bit shorter than this one. Oh. Actually, let me hit the bubble screen again while I make a little change here. Robo folks, I see a couple of you guys are there. I'm going to be going to premium only, but if you guys are here, want to say maybe drop a hello, drop a couple unique chatters so that I got something until it's time to wrap things up. I'd totally appreciate it. But yeah, we are at 5 unique chatters out of 20 required, so if so, I would appreciate it. Everybody else, you know, whatever. It's cool. It's cool. Rebel Studio. Let me just hit the lock. Yeah, you know what? We'll just hit it premium exclusive only right now. Update stream. Alright. Rumble has gone to premium. Also, share this channel on Bring Stabity. Everyone, hang out and editing videos. Stop by if you'd like. Gathering those premium hours for now. Repost. Good. I might grab some people that are only subscribed to the gaming channel and not the profile, and maybe they'll come hang out. We'll see. We'll see. That's done. We can close that. That's good. Edit. But yeah. You're not gonna bother. Cancel. And let's get back to here. And undo Hubble, perfect. New discovery by Shatterite. He is, I don't want to say a new author, the first time that we're doing one of his stories. That's what I want to say. So, narration, new folder, Shatterite, select folder. A new discovery. Start, open, up, Hubble small. Open, one shot, Shatterite. New discovery, a new discovery audio. Let's make the audio track first, and ripple deletes the white space. Extend over and 1, 2, and delete. There we go. Mystic Blade Works. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I just want to give you a warning. You are going to be spammed by advertisements on Twitch. I've got it tuned up to the highest possible frequency. And yeah, that's that. We're just doing some editing. I just finished tomorrow's video. My backlog is very terrible. Oh, alright, it's just here. So yeah, it is after midnight, so it is Wednesday, and I just finished editing my Wednesday video. Haven't uploaded it yet, though. I've got my gaming videos done all the way up to July 26th, and I've got a couple here up until August 2nd. I've got my free money videos on every Friday, or my free fund Fridays. Playing some Uma while checking Twitch. Hey, have fun. How are you liking the Umas? How are the horse waifus? However, for narration, Monday's episode I released yesterday because I didn't finish editing it in time. And Wednesday's episode, I just finished editing. It literally just finished rendering a few moments ago. Yeah. A full release schedule should look like this. You know, I skipped Free Fund Friday on the 20th. But yeah, this is what it should look like. This is what it's looking like. Lacking a little bit. So yeah, gotta focus on those narrations. And once we do, cool. Everything's gonna be good. But yeah, enough of that. Let's get back to here and let's start working on a new discovery. Filters, text rich, 96, 1728, sounds right, yes. It's 96, basically minus 4, it'll be 1920, yes. That is the correct thing. Text color is that. Background color is that. Rice shower needs head pats. So, is it rice shower or rice shower? Haru Urara needs all the hugs. Bakushin is still Bakushin. TM Opera O dominates long tracks. And Mama Creek keeps on stuffing the girls with food. Okay. New discovery there. Let's grab that. Grab our text. Oh. Yeah, let's just get a good feel for it. Say about yay much. Paste. It would probably help if we set the text size to 30. Wait, that would be 216, yeah. And 20, that's 160, so you go to 80.
Ye goth! Did you read this report? Which one? 8428-100260002849-3.4. This... You need to read this. Like now. And I'm... What the fuck did I just read? Is this a prank? Pray to anger that it is, but I don't think so. Well, fuck. What do we do? We send in the reports, and... Then I think we need to bring this higher up. What do you mean? I think we call in a code 3.
there. Select, paste. Control home, boom. Boom, boom, boom. We don't know that, damn it. And communications, and I'm fuck. Okay. Uh, 768, so that would be 312, 156. And I realized you need to do math while editing videos just to make sure things are centered. Fun fact, Haru Urara, real-life counterpart, entered 113 races and win none of them. But she is just happy to run with the other horses. In fact, she almost won in one of them. She's just that happy. Nice.
Oh, I think we need to call in a code 3. Trelf, those are 4 emergencies. Do you think that any champion is going to pass this along? This is unprecedented. Thank Kangun, we're in the middle of nowhere else. Shit. We need to lock down communications. Damn it, you're right. If anyone hears about this before the report gets through, and the report won't go through if it's sent through normal channels. Communications are now plugged. We're all quiet. And I'm using the code 3. Fuck. All right.
Quit. Pray to Engun that whoever answers has mercy on us. Go. HFY, what's that? It is humanity. Fuck yeah! It is a bunch of short stories and sometimes very long stories that are focused about humans being frickin' awesome. But yeah, just basically sci-fi, humans being cool, doing cool things, basically humans being better than aliens. It's just a bunch of pro-human propaganda up against those filthy Xenos. It's like, they should be thankful for us that we don't purge them just because we can. Yeah. Basically, I mean, not everyone uses the same tropes. There are a ton of tropes. But a very common one is that humans were raised on a death world. 40k, but more positive. Yes. And usually less genocide also. Not always. Sometimes it's included, but usually less of it. More often than not, it's just, hey, humans were developed on a death world. Most of the aliens were not, and they're a bunch of weak sissies. And then humans finally make it to space, and we're just like, oh, we can beat the crap out of all of you. And sometimes they do. And sometimes they're like, fine, you need the big bad humans to come save the day. I guess I'll be your Huckleberry. Almost said I'll be your Blueberry. Don't know why I said that. The line's I'll be your Huckleberry.
All right. Pray to Engun that whoever answers has mercy on us. Code 3, recognized. State your name.
There's 7. Make it easy. 150. Perfect.
Right, do. Pray to Engun that whoever answers has mercy on us. Code 3, recognized. State your name, rank, location, and emergency. Captain Trelf, location 8428-10025884927. We need to send a report through to a saint. This can't be caught up in red tape. It's essentially heresy made by the universe itself. You understand the ramifications of a false Code 3. Believe me, we've had some discussions over here. Put me through, please. Understood. God's bless. Who is this? Is this some kind of joke? Universal heresy?
Copy you. Paste. Perfect.
Who is this? Is this some kind of joke? Universal heresy? Apologies, Lord Saint. Sending you the relevant report now. This isn't worth my damn time. Huh. Huh. Captain? Yes, Lord Saint. What the fuck did I just read? Our sentiments exactly, sir. My deepest apologies if I've overstepped my bounds. I can only request that any misconduct be viewed as transgression on my part alone, and the crew be spared.
And delete. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We'll see if we can fit you. We probably can't. I guess we can. Your orders, observe, Captain. Paste. Let's expand that a bit. Thank you, Lord Saint. No. I'll just have it be a very short one this time. 386, so that'll be 100, 350, 348. Good.
Alone and crew be spared. No. That will not be necessary, Captain. You did good to bring this to me. Lord knows that bureaucracy would have held this up for years. Immediate orders, Lord Saint. Observe and report. Secrecy is paramount. Captain, as of this moment, you're under my personal command. You're given the authority of a champion and answer to no save for myself.
And copy. You. Paste. Mm, 432. So 216.
Personal command. The authority of a champion and answer to no saint save for myself. Captain, under no circumstances is anyone from the Holy Federation allowed to reveal themselves to these people. If any attempt to do so, destroy them. I will handle everything else. I'll send these orders through immediately. Is that understood? Yes, Lord Saint. Good. If these humans have done everything as reported here on their own, the gods themselves will show interest. It will not do to take action without their guidance. And good to be with you, Captain Shelf. Thank you, Lord Saint.
And that is another bit done. 3 pages left of this one. Let me get the privacy screen on for just a second while I go check the weather tomorrow. What are we looking at? Yeah, 65 now, not bad. Hourly, how are we looking tomorrow? Good. Nowhere near as bad as it was. Finally gonna get some clouds, gonna stay cool, gonna be 60s most of the day. Barely break through into the 70s in the afternoon. Cool back down into the 60s in the evening. Nice. And I guess, also I'm gonna be in Seattle this weekend, so let's see what it's like in Seattle on the weekend. Friday. Oof. Ugh. Ugh, I do not like it. I do not like it. It's gonna be 81 on Saturday. Not cool at all. And if I go hourly, it won't extend far enough, will it? Yeah, no. It goes as far as Friday. Oh! Darn it. I really don't like that. Oh well. Oh well, at least things will be decent here. That's looking good. Let's go ahead and pull back our privacy screen and get back to work. We want a shorter one this time because those all kind of fit together. Oh. Why are you not justified? Justify. 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 And justify. That should be better. Oh, right, because we barely reached any place that actually, satisfied. Zoom back in. Now, that just acted weird. We're 86, so that'll be 600. So 300 minus 3. 297. There.
Ralph, Lord Saint. Linnell sighed. He was walking into what was possibly the most important meeting of gods in millennia. He had to hope that he didn't fuck this up. Lord Angun had sworn to protect him, but no god was omnipotent, at least none that they knew of. Linnell sighed again. At least the worst they could do was kill them. For all that the masses proclaimed them as gods, they had no real power over the mind or soul, only the physical realm. A fact that the wiser of them were always quick to remind their servants of, should the need arise. There were, of course, a few that carried themselves with an air of scorn for their lessers, but the more intelligent of the gods kept them in check. One did not stay immortal
without a healthy dose of humility. A feud that carried themselves with an
lessers, but the more intelligent of the gods kept them in check. One did not stay immortal
without a healthy dose of humility. Go, humility. Let's see, we can grab that much. Anybody helps what we're running for when there's nowhere we can run to anymore. We can't afford to be innocent. Stand up and face the enemy. It's a do or die situation. We will be invincible. And with the power of conviction, there is no sacrifice. It's a do or die situation. We'll be invincible. Yeah.
Immortal dose of humility. He slowed a few meters from the door to the grand chamber, a place beyond which lay those who decided the direction of the entire Holy Federation. But the ceremonial guards were certainly watching him, so he quickly renewed his pace, entering the chamber, whereupon he became the focus of several thousand gazes. Gazes of gods. Beings powerful enough to scour continents within a matter of minutes. Linnell! A voice broke through the deafening silence. Linnell bowed low. Lord Engun, come, we will begin soon. Linnell made his way over to where his lord sat, near the center of the chamber, as they were directly
Involved with this report. Darn it. I messed up. Okay. Start a justify. I forgot to justify everything instead of just justifying a single paragraph. That's why things were looking weird. Are we sure that it's actually justified? Now it is. Mm-hmm. 634, so we need 446. 446, so you get to be 223. Linnell bowed low.
Lord Engun, come, we will begin soon. Linnell made his way over to where his lord sat, near the center of the chamber, as they were directly involved with this report. Engun smiled a bit, his features literally swimming as a god of water. A bit focused, aren't they? Most here have no idea that what's going to happen in the next few hours will decide the course of the next few centuries. Linnell stiffened as he felt the god scrutinize him further. They had no real power over the mind, no. But a mortal mind can interpret its surroundings in the strangest ways. The moment was broken by a chuckle from another nearby god. Engun, stop teasing them. They're making your servant uncomfortable. Engun blinked, then turned his gaze upon the others, who failed to meet his eyes.
You'll learn soon enough, brothers and sisters. Let's say we'll go to here. Three paragraphs, and they fit perfectly.
Enough, brothers. They were interrupted by a loud pounding, as the ceremonial guards struck the floor with their weapons to announce the arrival of the last members of the meeting. The counselors of the Holy Federation have arrived! Linnell made to stand, but Engun held him back with a smile. No need for that. They know who they are and what power they hold. Linnell swallowed, but stayed seated. Once the rest of the council was seated, the Lord of Fire took his ceremonial position at the podium. Engun of Water, you have been called here today to discuss with this gathering the contents of the report 842826000284 the planet involved hereafter referred to as Terra. There were a few chuckles at this. Most species called their home planet
either Earth, water, or some variation thereof. Yes, down to 2 pages left.
Hundred Earth, or some variation thereof. Engun stood. My fellow beings, I will give you the short version, after which you will likely start yelling at me, and then we'll get into the long version. The short version is, the primary sapient species of Terra, known as Terrans, have found a way to achieve something similar to godhood, as it were. Given a few millennia, or our own interference, they would sit here as our equals. There was a moment of silence, followed by, as predicted, a cacophony of shouting, yelling, screaming, etc., etc. Linnell felt that he might faint, were it not for noticing a subtle shifting of the shadows around him. Evidently, the Lord of Darkness was keeping an eye on things, lest they get out of hand. They almost did. A few gods of air had risen up, some gods of fire lit ablaze, and at least one god of plants had sprouted a few trees nearby. That's kind of funny. So angry that he sprouted trees nearby.
Shoot. Hopefully that'll all fit. Anel cleared his throat. Good. Engun. Good. And just slide a little bit. 60 to 30. Nope. $130. There we go. That's what I wanted to do.
I've plants had sprouted a few trees nearby. The Lord of Fire was discontent to let things go beyond that, however. Enough! He spoke. All felt the temperature of the room rise drastically, and a few gods of ice shifted uncomfortably. All returned to their seats, silent. Engun indicated for Lunel to stand. Warrior Saint Lunel will give the condensed version of the report, and the circumstances around its submission. Lunel cleared his throat. This was it. 3 standard days ago, a standard scan was made of Terra, following all exploratory protocols. The biosphere was discovered to have advanced life forms, and following such, a study into their culture and biology was made. Approximately 1 in 5,000 Terrans have the ability to manipulate the elements. All 10 elements have been observed to be in use. They standardized.
What happened to approximately? Pretty sure it was there. Yeah. Weird? Let's try that one again. Lunel. Engun. Unless I just want to drop... Nah, we've already got that. We may as well hang on to it. 9... Call it 18. So that'll be 162. So call it 81.
Had risen up, fire lit ablaze, and at least one god of plants had sprouted a few trees nearby. The Lord of Fire was discontent to let things go beyond that, however.
That's why we check things.
He spoke. All felt the temperature of the room rise drastically, and a few gods of ice shifted uncomfortably. All returned to their seats, silent. Engun indicated for Lunel to stand. Warrior Saint Lunel will give the condensed version of the report, and the circumstances around its submission. Lunel cleared his throat. This was it. 3 standard days ago, a standard scan was made of Terra, following all exploratory protocols. The biosphere was discovered to have advanced life forms, and following such, a study into their culture and biology was made. Approximately 1 in 5,000 Terrans have the ability to manipulate the elements. All 10 elements have been observed to be in use. They standardize most of their users under 3 tiers, depending on their ability and raw power, and in one of 2 categories, depending on their primary way of fighting. The Knights, Night Lords, and Dukes are focused on melee combat supported by the elements, while the Mages, Mage Lords, and Elementalists use the elements themselves to combat their foes. In addition, elements themselves to combat their foes.
Hey, final page. Paste. Mental. Shrink a bit. Uh, 732, call that... Perfect. 350. 175.
Themselves to combat their... In addition to natural element manipulators, they've also discovered the existence of elemental runes, and the spoken runic language. The most powerful rune users have some societal standing, akin to the Dukes and Elementalists. Elemental manipulator, or rune user, their ability in battle is one of their primary ways of deciding social standing, which leads into the primary focus of the report. The most powerful of the elemental manipulators, be they Elementalists or Duke, can further grow their power into the realm of what they call kings. These kings can grant elemental manipulation abilities to their followers. The collected gods began to make noise again at this, for such had been previously only under their purview, but were swiftly quieted by another rise in temperature. When this was discovered, a Code 3 was sent out, which I was personally assigned to. A strict, silent, observe and report protocol has been initiated. There has been one near miss in the last 30 hours, swiftly corrected. Further report available under Classification 0.
classification 0. Da, 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 da. Now we'll do a little longer. Yeah, because that one ties better to the previous. Shrink you down to there. Yep. Would have been 410, which would have been 205. Make that 204.
Are available under. The last statement was like the final nail in the coffin. Classification 3, or Code 3, were reserved for solar level emergencies. Classification 2, for something regarding most sapiens in the galaxy. Classification 1, for a galaxy as a whole, known or unknown. Classification 0, as per the Holy Federation's regulations, were only for events designated as affecting the Federation as a whole. The Lord of Fire observed the suddenly silent chamber. Finally, the gathered idiots were starting to think. Thank you, warrior Saint Lunel. Now, the Council has already decided there will be no talk of extermination, conquest, or any such idiocy. If there is so much as a whisper of an attempt to control or exterminate this newly discovered species, I will personally pay a visit to those involved. Even Engun rippled at that. The last time the current Lord of Fire had paid someone a visit, a number of cities had to be evacuated for parts of the continent.
That's definitely some strong fire elemental affinity. Copy. Paste. There, and shrink. 530, so call that 265.
A number of cities to other parts of the continent. It has been decided that the Terrans may be able to bring us new ideas, as any other species might, not just for the masses, but for those of us here as well. Until a true first contact has been decided upon, the Terrans will be studied at a distance. Save for an outright hostile first contact, they will be given the opportunity to join the Holy Federation. I feel it unnecessary to remind those here of the reasons we prize equality and peace in our Federation, but I will have you make it clear to your subordinates. These Terrans, they are like us. They could be as our younger brothers and sisters. They will grow, and we will watch, and hopefully, one day, we may stand together. This I pray to any true God that may be listening.
Film, remove text, save, export, one shot, Shatterite, a new discovery, save. And there we go. That was one video that was done by viewer request, so hooray. And that takes care of Fridays. Actually, since I'm here, let's go ahead and yellow Troublemaker 28 to 29, and yellow a new discovery. Oh, cool. Slowly making progress. just gotta get more. Way more. That is rendering. Good. I am going to run to the bathroom, be right back, and then we'll continue on with Memories of Creature 88. Actually, first, before we do that, backtrack. Oh, and I'll need to re-add that to... Okay, yeah, that's where it got deleted. Don't know how it got deleted, but it did get deleted. Perfect. That can be closed. And that can be closed. All right. privacy screen, and be right back. Yeah, do 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 do, ba da da do 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 do, ba do do ba da da do. Get some water as well. All right. Double screen, goodbye. And what to next? Da 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 da. Da da. Dee dee doo doo dee doo doo doo. All right, let's put the privacy screen back on. Just want to check one thing quickly. Good. Good. Things looking good. Let's get back into Shotcut. Let's get rid of our privacy screen. And let's go make our next video. Narration Creature 88. And it's going to be Creature 08. Creature 08. Start. Open narration. Bubble small. I need to get 4th generational warfare out of there. Audio open. Memories of Creature 88. Creature 8. Oh, forgot to export it. Let's go export. Save. Export. Narration. Memories of Creature 88. Creature 08. Creature 08.m4a. Exporting across the universe. On the desktop piecemeal under Stabby reads. Exporting across the universe. On the desktop piecemeal under Stabby reads. Go. Drop you there. Ripple delete. Zoom. Oh, jeez, I am fading. Yeah, we'll be calling it quits soon. Oh, jeez. I just got annoyingly tired. You know, like how you sometimes get a second wind and you've been tired, and then suddenly you're not? I just had the opposite of that. Wasn't tired, wasn't tired, wasn't tired, suddenly super tired. Whew. Whew. You know what? It is after 1 a.m. Well, let me go grab, take a break by going to, SD Gundam G Generation Eternal and grabbing our new character requests. Goodbye, Kira Yamato. Good. Replaced with Paptimus Shiroko. That is acceptable. Judo, you're maxed out. Replace you with someone else. Camille's already maxed out. Alright, whatever. At least Sayla's not maxed out, so we can go do a little bit of development. One. Two. And 3 tanks. 4. It's good. You need development, but Zeta's maxed out. You need development, but Zeta's maxed out. It's good. We can grab both of you at the same time. So, attempt. Not you. Exercise. Alright. Develop 1. Develop 2. And develop 3. Boom. That got Paptimus done. He is maxed out. Hooray. And Camille was already maxed out. Good. Good. Optimus maxed out. Judo max. Ruluka still hasn't been maxed out. We should get more of her instead of characters that have already been maxed out. I know it doesn't help you guys since you're not seeing my screen, but it is mildly annoying that they're giving us characters we've maxed out instead of characters we're still working on maxing out. One of those is a much better situation to be in. You know, making forward progress as opposed to not making forward progress. Alright. Enough of that. You target. Not TF. Text. Rich. Letter color. Background color. Justify 30. I'm gonna scream until we're satisfied. What we running for when there's nowhere we can run to anymore? We can't afford to be innocent. Stand up and face the enemy. This bloody road remains a mystery. This sudden darkness fills the air. What we waiting for? Won't anybody? What we waiting for? Won't anybody help us? What are we waiting for? We can't afford to be innocent. Stand up and face the enemy. It's a do or die situation. We will be invincible. This shattered dream you cannot justify. We're gonna scream until we're satisfied. What are we running for? We've got the right to be angry. What are we running for? When there's nowhere we can run to anymore. We can't afford to be innocent. Stand up and face the enemy. It's a do or die situation. We will be invincible. And with the power of conviction, there is no sacrifice. It's a do or die situation. We will be invincible. There we go. Just needed to get some singing off the brain. Actually. Let's go. Space newly discovered humans. Image. Aliens discovering human mages. That's kind of cute, but we don't touch stock photo websites. That's a good way to get into trouble, so we stay away from those. Gray alien and human woman just chilling. And we stay away from Shutterstock. What? Okay, whatever. Okay, Wikipedia. What is this even supposed to be? Alien abduction. I knew it. They're just missing the gray aliens T-posing for dominance. Little gray aliens. Yeah, stock photo. Don't want stock photos. Don't want evil aliens. Definitely don't want whatever the heck that is. Gray alien and human mage. Let's see if we can get something there. Yeah, see, that's just giving us the gray aliens. Don't want the, don't want just gray aliens. Duck, duck, go. Aliens meeting human mages. Images. Aliens quarantine Earth. That actually isn't bad. That would fit. But stock photo. Do not want the stock photos. Yeah, no, we don't want the mask on it. That's not the kind of stock photo we want. Do-do-do. Do 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 do. Ba da 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 da. Do 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 do. Oh ho 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 ho. They tried to quarantine Earth. We infected them with coronavirus. Nice. Dreams time. Alamy. That's cute. That's just cute. Aliens checking why your atmosphere is healing. Earth is in quarantine. um. How about aliens observe Earth? Adobe stock photo. Don't want Adobe stock photo. Stable diffusion. That would have been a good one. Astronomers. What? I'll take it. And let's go. That's money stuff. Good stuff. You should check it out. Yeah. If you're hanging out, don't know what to do, check out Fizz's Free Funds. It's one of my other channels. And that's where I find a bunch of free money to grab. Peach Ball Livestream, G-Gen, don't need G-Gen, Arusu, G-Gen. Let's get some, Kogi. Alley, Troublemakers. Oh. Troublemakers is there, then where's the next one after? Whatever. We'll use how humanity humiliated the galaxy. Hey, delete. Ooh. That was slow. Oh. That's why. We want to select just one. That's better. Copy image. Edit. Paste as floating data. This is floating data. Shift S. Height 1080. Scale. Perfect. And this will be no. Paste. Good. The blacks can all be deleted. Do not want those, and now it's cleaner. One shots. Modified. Other way. Shadrite. New discovery. Discovery. A new galaxy. Discovery. U/yes. Shadrite. Filters, noise and shadow. Drop shadow. 2, 3, 4. Definitely not 4. 5. 5 it is. And move you back to where you belonged. Good. Save. Resorty on the phone. No. A little lower. A little extra space. That's better. A dream you cannot justify. We're gonna scream until we're satisfied. What we're running for. He got the right to be angry. What we running for? When there's nowhere we can run to anymore. Yeah. Looks good. Pops out nice. Somewhat attractive. I'll take it. I will take it. Do we get back to here? We get back to here. All right. Let's suffer through this. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. He got the right to be angry. Whoops. That is what I messed up. Forgot to trim the start. Oh, alright, alright. Look. My earbuds so I can hear what's going on.
Look, I don't know as much as you might think. I'm a captain of the operations, or did it, rather.
How did you end up working for these guys anyway? Vincent said as he nudged the dead Rovik he was sitting on.
You're not familiar with my species?
Vincent shook his head.
We're exceptionally prone to motivations of self-preservation. We have almost no sense of loyalty, and the only common cases of sacrifice involve mothers and young. I'm male, so that's not a driving factor for me.
Vincent snorted at the explanation. The Xeno didn't seem to mind being honest about his species, it seemed. Well, that means they can threaten you. Still doesn't fully explain it.
No, I was kidnapped a little over a year ago. I had no chance of escaping, and they told me some very painful things they'd do if I resisted or the like. So I just got to work.
Vincent frowned. Be based. Good. What's up? Good. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna need to call it. I was hoping to make some actual progress instead of one paragraph, but yeah, that's not happening. It's just gonna wrap things up here. Let me at least save where this should go. 306, so 153. Save so we don't lose it. Close. So, yeah. Alright, that's it for the stream. Sorry, guys. I was hoping to maybe last another half hour, but I can't do it. I need to pass out, and before I can pass out, I need to upload tomorrow's video, and by tomorrow's I technically mean today's, because it goes live in 9.5 hours. Ooh. Alright. That's that. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. So, YouTube folks, we'll be kicking you off right here. Goodbye.